Seen these bars, they ain't never seen these bars. They ain't never held me down, they ain't never held me down. You ain't never seen my life, you can never take my life. You can never take my mind, you can never take my mind. You can never change my mind, you can never see my worth. You can never take me place out of the dirt. You can never take my earth, you can never see my life. You can never see my eyes, you don't look me in my eyes. You just look so deprived. You cannot take what's mine, you cannot take what's mine. Pick up these bags and get the story going. I don't have time to be lost in the roads. Nigga, why you hate yourself? What did I do? I just had a well-known smile back at high school. Full-fledged pharaoh in this bitch, but I don't got pharaoh like privilege. Due to my skin color, my pigment. See, y'all niggas still slaves, Willie Lynch shit. I don't have to retell the story, you know the truth. Is melanin a symbol of earth for an ego boost? Am I asking for me and you? Happiness as a path to
Alright, good afternoon everyone, or rather yet, good evening. I wanted to jump on here real quick and just speak about and talk about the differences and the similarities between the African American community, the Afro Latinas, the Caribbean. More specifically, though, Kamala Harris and Kendrick Lamar, and also Drake, and why it's such a big thing. I want everyone to be familiar so they know exactly what's going on and how we can address these circumstances and differences as well as similarities for our people, because it's extremely important that we get this right during this election year. So with that being said, without further ado, I guess I'll do it without the camera, because my camera device is not connecting. I don't know why. Let me see if I do one more thing, see if that, and it looks like it has worked. Okay, so like I was saying, forgive me for the technical difficulties, but I want to make sure we all are familiar. If you listen to the song, matter of fact, I'm going to play it one more time. I played it at a slower speed, so I want you to really listen to the words so you can understand what's being said. It's very important. Listen to the words, and I'll break it down. I'll come back and break it down for you so you understand where I'm coming from.
They ain't never seen these bars, they ain't never seen these bars. They ain't never held me down, they ain't never held me down. You ain't never seen my life, you can never take my life. You can never take my mind, you can never take my mind. You can never change my mind, you can never see my worth. You can never take me place out of the dirt. You can never take my earth, you can never see my life. You can never see my eyes, you don't look me in my eyes. You just look so deprived. You cannot take what's mine, you cannot take what's mine. Pick up these bags and get the story going. I don't have time to be lost in the roads. Nigga, why you hate yourself? What did I do? I just had a well-known smile back at high school. Full-fledged pharaoh in this bitch, but I don't got pharaoh like privilege. Due to my skin color, my pigment. See, y'all niggas still slaves, Willie Lynch shit. I don't have to retell the story, you know the truth. Is melanin a symbol of earth for an ego boost? Am I asking for me and you? Happiness as a path to
Okay, did y'all hear that? What that means is you can't, I repeat, you can't take away African American history. When I say African American history, I'm talking about slavery. I'm talking about Jim Crow. You can't take that from us. You know, my forefathers died in the war as well as slavery. For us to have the rights, all of us to have the rights, immigrants as a whole, we fought for the rights for everyone, all the rights that we are afforded. And the reason why there's confusion today is because most people they think it's so far gone. Like when we talk about reparations, they're like, who should get it? And we don't think anybody should get it, and who should pay. Side note, we send billions and billions of dollars overseas to support a foreign government. APAC is a foreign government investment tool from people of the Jewish faith or the Jewish community. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I want to make sure I bring that to your attention so you are aware of where I'm going with this. What I'm saying to you, foundational Black Americans, there's been a coalition of sorts, if you will, for Black and brown individuals. And we just have another one, what I call a person who kind of is like a chameleon, for lack of a better word. She's the first Indian that was elected into the Senate in 2016. And now she's the first Black elected as the Democratic ticket holder, if you will, for the Democratic Party. Now, I say that to say this. Her name is Kamala Harris. She is an Indian, and she was raised by an Indian mother. Her father is from the Caribbean, Jamaica, to be specific. And right now, she's been anointed, for lack of a better term, as the Democratic elect to run against Donald Trump in the 2024 election. And I say that to say this. She is not FBA. She's not African American. Okay? She's a first generation immigrant. Her mother and her father immigrated here. Her mother's from India. Her father is from the Caribbean. Just to be clear in the distinction. Jamaicans had their own plight, and that came from the British community, who enslaved them. But right now, Kamala Harris, she's a Jamaican, and she's an American, but she's an Indian American, first generation. What I'm saying, the reason why I make that distinction, to be clear, is because I have, or my lineage, or my family has been here in America for upwards of 300 years. I can go back and trace my family history to about 300 years. So I know for a fact, I know where my people are buried. It's Texas, so that's why I'm so proud of Juneteenth. I'm very, very proud of my heritage. But I don't want to get off track. What I'm trying to explain about the differences, if you will, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the difference is this. It wasn't that long ago where Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. It wasn't that long ago before that Malcolm X was assassinated. The list goes on and on and on. I don't want to get into George Floyd, Tamir Rice. Recently, a Miss Macy got killed by the police. And the history is very lengthy and very traumatic. Most of these people who are immigrants, if you will, don't have that experience. They still have their culture. Our culture was stripped and taken away from us. They forbid us to read We was in chains. We cultivated their lands. We fought for the rights of all people. Now you have people who look like us, who don't have experiences like us, but they are actually running to govern us. Um, and I'm not sure if, I mean, I am sure it's by design. That's what the Willie Lynch letters is all about. It's about divide and conquer. And just to be clear, Latinos, Jamaicans, Haitians, Africans, Irish, Jewish, Europeans, they all are immigrants. Now, FBAs have been here since the 1500s. If you read his story, their story, we have natives here as well. But again, our history was stripped from us. So I say this for this reason. In New York specifically, it is a melting pot. You have African Americans married to Jamaicans. You have Latinos, be specific, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans married to African Americans. In the culture itself, hip hop, as you are aware, there's a big discussion taking place today about who started hip hop and if was Puerto Ricans were there. I'm not getting into all that. All I want you to understand that is there's a big difference with culture and the plight of FBAs or ADOS and people who immigrated to this country. We were in shackles, enslaved. Most immigrants came here by choice and they were given opportunities. Now they actually are in strong political parties and they are actually represented. So they actually have a leg up because their families are still tight. They probably can trace their family lineage back 4, 5, 6, 700 years. When I mean by who can trace their family back that far, I'm talking about like Portuguese, Italians, Europeans as a whole. Because Jews are Ashkenazi Jews. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Indians, that's East Asia, like Kamala Harris and her mother. That's the Gandhi people, if you will. I hope I'm not making a too broad of a generalization. But that's the difference. That's why a lot of our African American brothers and sisters say she doesn't represent us. She was actually responsible for the mass incarceration of our people. And if you look, they always put those people there to veto certain bills. Like with the ICJ, they did it. They had one of our sisters from another country, an immigrant, come and oppose the ICJ's ruling against Netanyahu, which was actually in our capital this week, today actually. While we all talking about Kamala Harris, he was there, and he was protesting, and he was talking about the things he's doing, which he's, destroying the lives of a whole bunch of Palestinians, and in the skies of defending Israel's right to exist. And he's not aware of what we call collateral damage, if you will, or for a lack of a better term, they're using plausible genocide taking place in Israel or Palestine, if you will, Gaza. Is every Palestinian Hamas? Is every Palestinian Iran? Like he mentioned today, Iran is funding it here in America. So America's allowing Iran to send money to American citizens to protest. or do American students oppose any genocide or any country stealing land as well as killing off people? But I hope this serves its purpose and helps everybody understand the differences between the groups. FBAs are foundational. FBAs are foundational. Most other groups, especially Jamaicans, Latinos, they're immigrants. We was forced into slavery, bondage, Jim Crow laws. We fought for those freedoms and liberties that are given to the Latinos and all the immigrants that live here in America. But they didn't have the plight or the challenges that African Americans had. That's the difference.